Welcome to the Tutor to You Criminology video for WJEC Level 3 Applied Criminology. In this video we're going to look at Assessment Criteria 1.2 of Unit 2 on Criminological Theories, looking at how laws are applied differently according to circumstances. In previous videos in this series we've looked at how laws differ from culture to culture and how they differ over time. And now we need to examine how these laws are applied differently based upon the circumstances in which the crime was committed. In everyday practice, all individuals are subject to the rule of law, but there are occasions when the law is not applied to individuals who have committed a crime. This is usually in the case of mitigating circumstances, that is, where individuals do not have control of their actions, or their intent is not to commit a crime, or they are defending themselves. Whilst individuals may still be charged with criminal behaviours, partial defences are put forward to excuse their actions. These include diminished responsibility, consent, self-defence and automatism. In this video, we're going to look at these reasons. Firstly, diminished responsibility. This is often applied in cases where individuals would have been charged with murder, and instead a lesser charge of manslaughter is applied. The Homicide Act of 1957 is the basis for this application, with it referencing individuals being unable to be convicted of murder if they are suffering from abnormality of mental functioning, or if death was caused by the accused having a medical condition that led to an act or omission that caused the death of the victim. This means that if the accused has a condition that impairs their ability to understand what they are doing, or to make rational judgments, or to exercise self-control, that they cannot be prosecuted for murder, and a lesser charge of manslaughter is levied on the individual. The extent of how the condition has impacted on their actions is ascertained in court, often through the use of medical experts as witnesses. A second way in which the law might not be applied is due to consent. This is based upon establishing that the act that was criminal occurred as a result of consenting behaviour between the victim and the accused. While this defence is a general defence and can be used for all offences, especially non-fatal ones, it has also been used in murder cases. Whilst not in the UK, one of the most high-profile of these cases was the murder of Grace Millian, whereby the accused pleaded what was called the rough sex defence, as Milan died of injuries sustained during sexual intercourse that she had consented to, according to the defendant. This defence was rejected by courts in New Zealand and has recently been included in the Domestic Abuse Act of 2021 in the UK. A third reason for the law not being applied is self-defence. This is used as a partial defence against charges of physical violence by a defendant. A person is legally allowed to use reasonable force to counterattack or defend themselves from attack that would result in injury or death. They can also use reasonable force to protect their property, prevent others from committing criminal actions, or it can be used to apprehend criminal offenders, such as restraining somebody who is committing an assault. The extent of what is considered reasonable force is determined by the court, but the use of weapons is illegal in England and Wales, and so defending oneself with a weapon such as a knife or a gun is not seen as being reasonable force. A final reason for the law not being applied is automatism. This is where the individuals committing the act have responded in an involuntary manner. That is, they are not in control of their body or mind. This is a partial defence and can be classified as either insane or non-insane automatism. This categorisation relies upon the source of an individual's involuntary control. If it is due to a psychological condition, that is classed as an internal factor and hence is seen as being insane automatism. For example, crimes committed when experiencing hallucinations or going through a period of psychosis. Non-insane automatism is impacted by external factors. For example, losing control of a vehicle due to being stung by a bee or having an allergic reaction to a food source, and therefore is classed as non-insane automatism. These 4 reasons are often applied as it can be suggested that individuals are incapable of having a guilty mind and/or intent to commit a crime. The extent to which these defences can be applied is decided by the court, and is not guaranteed to pardon the individual from their actions.